Multipitch climbing, a true form of adventure, heading off into the unknown, tackling pitch after pitch of climbing, hanging off tiny belay ledges, and experiencing breathtaking views. This is Le Copains d'Abord, a 110-metre high route on the island of Kalymnos. In search of a vertical adventure, we set out to climb the route as part of our trip there back in November. A multi-pitch involves ascending multiple stacked pitches of climbing in order to scale much larger cliff faces. A multi-pitch makes it possible to climb steep vertical cliff faces several hundred metres high, where the only way to reach the top is by climbing. They take on many forms, from short 2 to 3 pitch routes to longer mountain routes which can be used to ascend summits and ridges by breaking them up into smaller sections of climbing. In comparison to the likes of routes in Yosemite or the Dolomites, our multi-pitch route was tiny, containing just 5 pitches of moderate climbing, but meaning we could complete the route easily in an afternoon. Although we do have a habit of ending all our days climbing in the dark.
Made it down to the footpath, just about in time for true darkness to fall.
So today is a multi-pitch day. We have decided to try Les Copains d'Abord, probably butchering the pronunciation of that, which is a 5-pitch 6A plus. And yeah, it's near Missouri, which is kind of the main climbers town on Kalymnos. Yeah, we haven't done much of an adventurous day on the island so far, so we thought we'd have a little stab at a multi-pitch challenge. Hopefully we can alt lead on it, and it will be a nice fun day out. What I was going to say is that we've arrived at the parking spot for the multi-pitch, and we're just trying to find the approach path up. I say we. It's always Rob that does this bit.
I don't know, up. I can't see anything other than some massive caves. So I think it's actually up and round to the right, because you can see this giant cave on the left-hand side of the topo, which is massive, by the way. That must be 50 metres tall, easily. We've reached a dead end, no more than 20 metres from the car. It's all right, turn around. Oh, my tracking ability determines 3 humans passed this way 2 weeks ago. I've seen a path join there, and I think another sort of trails coming from the top of that. And I'm sensing great climbing energy in this direction. Ah, yes. Ah, a footprint. Looks like a La Sportiva. It must be climbers.
The route itself is described as a long and interesting outing with sustained climbing. The pitches are generally less than 40 metres long, and a short, slightly melted fixed rope links the top of pitch 2 and the start of pitch 3. Thankfully, it hadn't occurred to me to look at the UKC comments, which I generally find is a good indicator of whether a route is worth it or not, as most of them made reference to a significant amount of loose, jossy rock on a couple of the pitches.
All that downwards dog has really prepared me for just that manoeuvre.
Unscathed, unlike my jacket yesterday. Insert clip of jacket. Okay, so I think we've found our route. There are possibly 2 passes on it already, but they seem to be quite high up. I think we know where we're going. Kind of follows a ramp / groove and then sort of trends rightwards as it goes higher up. Yeah, hopefully 5 pitches of beautiful 6A limestone climbing. And hopefully it doesn't rain. I think we found pitch 1. I think the route goes up here. That's great. So as with most routes in Kalymnos, the route name is painted on a stone very helpfully and placed at the bottom of the route. So there's no chance of getting lost, at least not on pitch 1. I think between pitches 2 and 3 there's a slightly damaged rope because it's a bit of a traverse. And then I think we abseil off or we can walk off. I did have intentions of not having this last an entire day, but it's now lunchtime. We've only just arrived. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Just as we were racking up, Rob made what he would call an exciting discovery.
Hear me out, this may be another really bad Rob idea, but there's a via ferrata that starts just down and round the corner, and that goes to the top past the cool cave. So instead of abseiling, we could down climb the via ferrata. It's alright, it's a VF3A, it's gonna be alright, I'll be okay.
Okay, maybe. Starting up. Okay, Copains, double. I started up pitch 1, which began up a slab and turned out to be a very pleasant section of crimpy face climbing, made slightly more challenging as we chose to wear our backpacks instead of leaving them at the bottom. God, it's a long pitch. It just keeps going. Fun though. Even if I do have a gigantic bag on my back. A couple more bolts. And then we should be at the top of pitch 1. Rope is getting bloody heavy now.
How you done direct?
No, I'll put you. Now ensued what is commonly known as faff. Exchanging gear, checking the route, and finally setting off on the next pitch.
Brilliant job.
That was a fun couple of pitches. I led pitch 1, which was a 6A, and then Rob's just led pitch 2, which is a 6A+. Pretty strenuous, actually. It went over quite a intense overhang, which wasn't the easiest thing to do with a massive bag on. Rob's just now gonna head up pitch 3, which is also 6A+, and sort of traverses across a bit of a sad and sorry looking rope, and then sort of hacks up this corner behind me. And then I think I'll do pitch 4, then one more pitch, and then we'll be at the top.
I'm a bit apprehensive about pitch 3 because it looks a little bit on the sort of chossy side. So we'll see how it goes. It might be an absolute gem, or it could be a bit of a choss fest. You follow the broken rock up, then up and left, you might have to believe me on this, there's a little bush. Directly below the bush is a bolt, but in fact I think the top is probably those bushes up there somewhere. I think if you want to belay from here, we have to run out the first couple of clips.
Right, off he goes. Pitch 3.
Is using a rope on a climb like this
I'd say it's aid.
You're supposed to belay from there, but...
Rob completed the pitch with relative ease, which involved a lot of bridging between the corner and an awkward pull onto the right-hand face.
I've just finished pitch 3. It felt a bit weird, to be honest. It was almost like a trad climb, like a mountain route where you climb, you're supposed to climb these corners. So yeah, it followed a really natural feature line, which is quite different to a lot of the sport climbs done here on Kalymnos. Excited to see what Lucy thinks of this route.
Unsuspecting of the challenge ahead, I dismantled the belay and set off to follow. However, I had much less of a fun time. About to embark on pitch 3, which Rob made look like a walk in the park. Okay, climbing!
Okay.
This is the state of the rope that we have to deal with. It was described as melted in the guidebook. I'm not really wanting to hold it, to be honest. I'd rather hold the rock. Feels a lot more stable. After the unnerving run out along the fixed rope, I embarked up the third pitch and quickly realised that it was going to be a lot harder than I'd anticipated. The pitch began with a tough heave along an undercling and up a groove. Oh my god. Something Rob had made look very easy. Struggling up to the first bolt, I began to feel my enthusiasm waning. Oh god. That was not easy. As soon as I entered the corner, the climb took on a whole new dynamic.
What the hell am I doing?
Pleasant, crimpy face climbing had been replaced with chossy, dusty bridging, and I found this style of climbing pretty challenging.
Watch me here, Rob! Ugh.
After a lot of struggling, I made it to the top, but not without a significant knock to my confidence.
How was that pitch of climbing, Lucy?
Not great. I hated it. Oh shit. The first pitch was really nice. It just, that pitch really took it out of me. It was just really like thrutchy. This awful bridging between like the corner, and it was all really like dusty and loose. My foot just kept sliding off, and then like, you know, when I wanted to like lean against the back wall, my bag was like pushing me forwards. Oh.
Not a fan?
Hated that pitch.
I described it as very reminiscent of the Wye Valley, which I said was a good thing.
Threw my confidence a little bit. I don't know, just not a fan. That was shit.
Right, Lucy's going to go ahead and lead pitch 4, hopefully. It's a 5C, but hopefully it'll get her confidence back after the slightly trad style pitch number 3.
I'm doing fine, and then like something like that happens and I just get really knocked. And my confidence just vanishes. Despite my desperate struggle on pitch 3, pitch 4 passed without incident, aside from some very spiky bushes, and was quickly followed by Rob, who then led through onto the final pitch of the route. You can see the chains. Right, final pitch.
Is indeed.
The final pitch of the route turned once again back into glorious face climbing. And we topped out, tired, and in my case, slightly relieved.
Alright, nice. Nice one, Lucy.
Shattered.
Call yourself a track climber. An alpinist. 5 short sport pitches and you're done.
Topping out in the increasingly strong wind, and with about an hour left before nightfall, the easiest way to descend was via a footpath, but Rob had other ideas.
Hopefully you can hear me above the wind. Rob is desperate to do this via ferrata descent, so we're going to walk this way to check it out, and then we may end up walking that way to go home. We'll see.
Come on, honey. See the via ferrata. Going to do the via ferrata, but then it had this really nasty, unprotected down climb. So we've walked a bit, and the guidebook talks about an abseil through a cave or over a cave. So we've found an abseil station, and I have blind faith. So hopefully this is the cave below us, and hopefully we'll have an awesome abseil and not abseil onto the top of a 7C pitch or something horrible like that.
So there are a lot of assumptions here. Assumption 1, the rope is long enough. Assumption 2, we can actually climb down the via ferrata. Assumption 3, we have enough time to do this before it gets dark. Assumption 4, we can do this without actual via ferrata kit and just a tape. We'll see how this goes.
Alright, we're at the start of this cave. Wow, this would be an insane abseil to use. One too many turns on the old prusik, I think. Right, so we did the abseil through the cave. We skipped the start of the Via Ferrata because Lucy was looking a bit demotivated. But I think that cave was probably well worth the effort. We're about to do something you should never do, which is clip a tape onto a Via Ferrata, because Via Ferrata cables being inelastic means that if you fell with just a tape, you'll break your back.
Yay! That's why I don't want to do it.
We are flying down this Via Ferrata descent. We're well over halfway down, and it's been, what, 5 minutes? I think we'll be down well before sunset. Awesome, well, we've just done the Via Ferrata section. I think from here on it's basically a scramble, and we'll just sort of make our way nice and easily down. That's the cave we abseiled through.
After a much longer day than we had anticipated, we headed down in the rapidly fading light with the promise of a cosy taverna and good food at the bottom.
Well, it's just started to rain. This big dark cloud has appeared overhead and blocked out what's left of the sun. So not only has it now got suddenly very, very dark, it's also started to rain. Just our luck. Made it down to the footpath, just about in time for true darkness to fall. Made it to a nice little restaurant. Cheers.
Join us next time for the final part of our Kalymnos adventure.
Oh, it's such a shit crimp.
What brilliant time!
Oh no, 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 no.
Not gonna lie, I was a bit freaked out. So we've arrived at the parking. Oh, and that is way too loud.
O.B on your radios, where you can hear a non-stop broadcast of Rob speaking and saying things like the fact that it's a non-stop broadcasting service. Very few services broadcast Rob non-stop, but this service does, and you can get a piece of Rob by listening to Rob TV and Rob Radio on Channel Rob.